Fionnán, I want to come on to the presidential election. It took up a huge amount of time towards the end of this year. You have covered many presidential election over the years, and they tend to be entertaining, to say the least. How did this one compare?
Similar, in that it never ceases to amaze me how many people get up in the morning and decide, I think I'd like to become the head of state. And without putting any further thought into it, kind of start putting their name out there.
We saw that a few times.
We saw that a few times this year. We saw people, going, putting their name out there and pulling back first quick. Other people doing opinion polls, floating the name out there, then pulling back. We saw other people going further than that. Ultimately, we saw the biggest political party in the country trying to rewrite the narrative around presidential elections, that a complete outsider with no political experience whatsoever could become president of Ireland. And with Micheál Martin bringing Jim Gavin in from the outside and just deciding, well, this person is a well-known figure, he has some public service, I'm going to go off and claim that he is of the standard to become head of state. And ultimately it didn't work. And maybe it's no harm that it didn't work either, because it was effectively saying that, you know what, you don't need to have a big public service CV in order to go down this route, unlike previous presidents and presidential election candidates. We also saw with Catherine Connolly's win, she kind of defied a lot of expectation and thinking. The idea that you come out early, you declare early, you stay in the race. A lot of people have tried that in the past and they have burned out. They literally haven't made it through the summer. By the time the autumn comes, the ploughing championship is the kick-off day really for the campaign proper. They tend to be burned out and gone. So the fact that she declared early, it galvanised a momentum behind her. It meant that she was the left-wing candidate, and other left-wing parties were talking about running candidates but ultimately didn't, and weighed in behind her, and she brought that broad coalition behind her. Probably suited her, things like Mairead McGuinness dropping out, Fianna Fáil making a hames of their candidacy. And it's easy to look at it in the end and go, well, Catherine Connolly was always going to win. She wasn't really, no. Actually, wasn't. To be fair to her, she put her name out there, she backed it up. She also showed that if you are ahead, you don't necessarily need to answer all the questions, and you can ride out storms a lot easier if you have a momentum behind her. So there were a number of controversies that she just decided to deal with in her own way, and maybe the public responded to that and said, look, we're not going to be derailed in our thinking on her. But she certainly wasn't as transparent as she would have made out throughout her campaign, but got away with that, and ultimately the momentum was behind her and she won comfortably as a result. I
wonder how that will reflect elections going forward, how Catherine Connolly approached that, exactly what you're talking about, answering questions, speaking to the media, where she stuck to a line on any particular topic, and she stuck to it, and she said, this is how I view things, and I'm going to continue with that. And maybe that's how people responded to her as well. Yeah,
you also need to be articulate enough to talk your way out of situations like that. She had that advantage. She is an experienced politician as well. She has been involved in public life for the best part of 20 years. She is highly educated. And it was something that Mary Hannafin said back in the summer when she was trying to run and she was in communication with Fianna Fáil. She said that all of the presidents to date have been highly educated and have had a long track record of public service. And Catherine Connolly ticked those two boxes. And ultimately she emerged with that experience behind her. I don't think you can just parachute somebody in to such a highly politicised campaign and decide, off you go there, you'll be grand. There's a reason why people survive presidential election campaigns and the reason why people don't.
Yeah, when you look back and you wonder who the biggest losers are from this election, like they're the obvious actual losers in Fine Gael and Fianna Fáil. Fine Gael isn't getting the same level of attention as Fianna Fáil is. Like, Heather Humphreys' campaign was not a good campaign. I don't think it suited her. I think she was always known for being really personable. She was good crack. And Fine Gael went on the defensive and they kind of went on the attack line, and I don't think that suited Heather. So she was a loser in it, but I think ultimately Fianna Fáil are the biggest losers in this overall.
Yeah, Heather Humphreys, I suppose the fact that she was filling in as a substitute for Mairead McGuinness when Mairead McGuinness dropped out during the summer, having been the declared Fine Gael candidate, meant that she always had that fallback position of saying, well, listen, I wasn't out from the start. I was doing a service to the party and ensuring that they had a candidate. So she had cover there in that regard. So I suppose Fine Gael had their excuses lined up as a result of that. If Mairead McGuinness had run, would she have won? That, I suppose, is the great imponderable. And you're probably looking to go, no, Catherine Connolly would have beaten her too, but we just don't know. If Billy Kelleher had run for Fianna Fáil, how would he have fared if Bertie Ahern had run? There's so many candidates that didn't get to run, Maria Steen being another on the independent side, that you would say, would history have been different? Or ultimately was Catherine Connolly going to win this anyway? But yeah, the biggest losers out of it are unquestionably Fianna Fáil. Whether you ascribe that to Micheál Martin or to Jim Gavin is a matter of debate, and those issues are still playing out. But it is yet another sobering tale from a presidential election of don't go into it with your eyes wide open.
Don't underestimate
and
it.
Be told by people, oh, you'll be grand, it'll all be fine, you're a great candidate. There's always only one winner out of a presidential election.
Remember the 24 hours when the meteorologist Joanna Donnelly was going to run? That was my favourite bit of the whole campaign.
Yeah.
But it was exactly what Fionnán was saying, was that people have this idea that maybe the job is for them, but it's the campaign, the gruelling campaign just isn't. It's so different. It's
but it's like they seem to think that the job is something that it isn't. They think that the job is just about going around the country, opening up GA clubs and attending school fairs and whatever. It isn't. It's a serious role.
Yeah.
It is, as our head of state, you have to have pretty profound political, diplomatic and educational skills, the legal nous to know when a bill can be signed straight away, how much scrutiny do you have to put behind it, when do I need to call the Council of State, when do I need to refer it to the Supreme Court, what do I need to say, who do I need to meet, the tone and the tenor that you need to apply to different topics. All of those come into play. So while everybody can go around going, oh, the office of president is above politics, it's not. It's actually the most political of all.